so how many of you eat GMOs? How many of you know what a GMO is? Although many people deem genetically modified organisms as harmful, they are often uneducated as to what it actually is and the benefits that it reaps. My name is Cindy Sayer, and I've grown up on a family farm my whole life, and with that being said, genetically modified organisms are a big part of my life. Today I'm going to inform you about GMOs and what they do to impact the world. First off, I'm just going to give you some background about GMOs. Many will ask, well, how are they formed? Or what is caused to make GMOs? Well, there are two main ways that GMOs can be produced. One way is that DNA can be injected into these fertilized eggs, which will be injected into the plant cells to create the new DNA. The second way is that viruses and bacteria can essentially be injected into the plant cells also to create the new DNA. So this info comes from the Genetically Modified Organisms Education article on responsibletechnology.org. So what's the purpose of these GMOs? Well, one reason is that with this new DNA in the GMOs or the plants can have essentially a built-in herbicide, so the farmers don't need to use as much chemical on them, which can benefit the environment as well. And same thing goes for pesticide. The GMO plants are already pest resistant, so they also don't need to be use as much pesticide on them. Okay, so now that I've told you a little bit about GMOs, we're going to talk about why they matter in the world. So genetically modified organisms have been throughout the world for a long time. They were first introduced into the food chain in the mid-1900s. The article, Genetically Engineered Food Issues, states that approximately 88% of corn, 95% of sugar beets, and 94% of soybeans are genetically modified. With these being genetically modified, it helps the farmers produce greater yields and use less chemicals, which can benefit the economy, so they don't have to use as much money on their farm or with their seeds and chemicals. This comes from the Center for Food Safety.org. So, by using more GMOs, with the GMOs also include more nutrients, which can help third world countries who don't have as many nutrients as, say, we do in the United States. So the economy can benefit because of these third world countries essentially buy our crops that have been genetically modified with more nutrients to benefit their people as well. So in conclusion, even though many people say that GMOs are bad, they are often uneducated as to what a GMO is. So today we talked about how the DNA of plant cells can be altered to improve the plant seeds and the big role that they play in the United States. According to the Center for Food Safety.org, about 75% of food on the shelves has been genetically modified. That's something you can't get away from.